Hi everybody and welcome to a new episode of Ask Tatyana. Today I would like to talk with you about memorization. How you can memorize and play the piece by heart very fast and easy. But before we start, I would like to say thank you so much to all my patrons on patreon.com. Only because of your huge and important support, I am able to make these tutorials and to make them regularly and to be able to share all my knowledge and tips and tricks about guitar playing. So thank you so much. It means really a lot for me and it's a great help. So now back to memorization. It's a very important, very big topic, and for sure, many of you have already made an experience when you play a piece for a long time and you repeated it many times, I don't know, weeks, months, that at one point you suddenly can play it without scores. It just works somehow. It's amazing, it's a great feeling, especially because it seems like you didn't do anything special to achieve it and you can play music by heart. But exactly there we have some problems. This kind of memorization, when you play a piece many times, just repeat it and then once you can play it. I call it passive memorization. It has some positive sides, that you don't need to do extra anything and that it just happens. But it also has many negative sides. For example, for sure you have already made this experience, this not so nice experience, that when you get stressed, for example, when you play the piece not at home, when you're relaxed and you feel comfortable, but when you need to play, for example, this piece for your teacher at a lesson, or you perform it for somebody at a concert, or you play it at exam or competition. So you are not in a normal cozy situation, but in a stress. At this point, what happens, unfortunately, very fast, that you suddenly forget. The piece that you have played before many times and it seemed to work, at once it doesn't work. You are completely out, you have black hole in your head, in your mind, and you even don't know what happens. And the even worse thing, you cannot continue because you don't know what goes as next. So there are actually the problems of this passive memorization. First problem, when you learn piece just by repeating it many times, you can start to play this piece only from the beginning. So you are not able to start somewhere in the middle or at any other part. You can play this piece only from the very first note. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Second negative point. When you learn the piece passively, it's the most unsecure memory that we could have. And the problem of this memory is that in the serious situations, in the stress situations, our memory just switches off. You don't have any influence on it, and at this moment you just out. Yeah? You stop and you don't know how to continue. And at this point we need to go back to the first one. So when you once lost something in your piece, you are not able to continue. You have no idea which notes you need to play next. And then you need to interrupt, to stop, to make a break and start once again from the beginning. All these things happen only because this passive memory is something that is not really sure and that doesn't give us the feeling of control and being able to play it as we want to do it. What I recommend to memorize, to learn the piece actively, not passive but active. Where's the difference? When we learn it active, we use different kinds of memory. What kinds of memory they are? For example, mechanical memory. By the way, this mechanical memory, it's something very similar, very similar to this passive memory. So mechanical memory is the memory that works when you played a place or a piece many times, and then just at one point your fingers can do it by themselves without that you need to say what they need to do. They just do it. So it's mechanical memory. A good one, easier one, you can achieve it very fast, but one of the most unsure one. Another memory is visual memory. It's very important to use this memory by learning the piece. Visual memory can be two kinds. First kind of visual memory is when you remember and when you memorize very well how the music sheet looks like, or you memorize very good the notes that are written on the sheet of music. And then when you close your eyes, you are able to see this picture of notes of the scores. You can see it in front of you and you can read it just in your head. It's first kind of visual memorization. Second kind of visual memorization is when you memorize, when you remember very well how your fingers, for example, of the left hand looks on the fretboard. So you memorize good how the chord looks like, which position do you have, is it a big one, is it a small one, which fingers do you need, in which shape they are at the moment. So once again, when you close your eyes and you try to see a picture, you will be able to see the picture of your left hand on guitar fretboard. It's second kind of memorization. Personally, I use the second kind a lot, and when I learn my pieces, I memorize very intensively how the chords look on the fretboard. So, as I said, this visual memorization is very important for being able to play sure your piece by heart. How you can work on this memory? Quite easy. It doesn't matter which kind of memory you take, you need to concentrate yourself on a small part of the piece. So not start from the beginning and play it till the end. It will not bring anything. You need small parts. It depends how difficult the piece is. If it's quite easy, you can take 4 measures or 8 measures. Probably a little bit too much. 4 measures is optimal. If the piece is really difficult, you can take 2 measures or just only 1 measure. It depends. Then you take this short part of the piece and you play it in a slowly tempo, not too fast. You play it 1 time, looking in the score, second time, looking at the score. If you want to memorize how your scores look like, then you just continue to look in the scores, then you close your eyes, play it once again by memory, and when you play, you imagine and you see exactly the scores page in front of you, like you are reading the notes. If you want to practice this visual memory about left hand, about pictures of the left hand, then after you play it 2 times with the scores, looking in scores, you need to turn your head and not just to look away, because then you will not see what happens on the left hand, but you need to look at your left hand and memorize exactly what your left hand is doing at the current moment. Which chords do you play, which fingers are working, where they need to go, and so on. After you repeated it several times by looking at left hand, you close your eyes, repeat this part once again, but when you repeat it with your closed eyes, you imagine your left hand and the picture of this whole process in the left hand. If you're ready with these 2 measures, you take another 2 measures, work on them in the same way, and then you combine them, start from the first one and go to the fourth one, no? To make it be very sure and secure. It was the second kind of memory, visual memory. Another type of memory is ear memory. That is actually the sound that we memorize, how the music is actually sounding. How you can practice ear memory. You play once again the part that you want to learn several times with the scores, then you can play it looking at the left hand or just looking away, it doesn't matter. And then you stop playing, you don't look in the scores, so you don't have instrument and you don't have scores. And then you try to sing this part, just to sing it from your head. If it works, then it means that your ear memory working very well and you can continue. This point is also very important because if you use, for example, only mechanical memory and a little bit of visual memory, and in a stressful situation you suddenly lose them both, and it happens, unfortunately, when we are under stress, it happens very fast that we lose something that was so clear and absolutely understandable before. At once it doesn't work. So as more different kinds of memory you use for this piece, as more secure and sure you are at this moment. So, for example, if you lost your mechanical memory and you don't even remember what was the next chord, but you have the melody in your ears, your fingers will find the way to continue. You just continue to sing the melody and then the hands will do it for you. It's a very, very good, safe ring. Another kind of memory, it's mental memory. Probably also one of the most important memories, and that, for my opinion, it's the memory that saves us in a very, very critical moments. When everything is lost and you have no hope, exactly this mental memory takes us out of this problem and we are able to continue to play the piece without that anybody will notice that something happened before. How does it work, this mental memory? Mental memory is actually the memory of your head, of your brain. It's the work of your brain. So you need to be able to explain logical what you are doing in this moment. Sounds strange? Maybe not so many of you have used it before, but it's really something really, really, really helpful and really good things. What does it mean? For example, when I'm working on a piece, when I learn it to play by heart and I know I need it for a concert, so it means I will be in a stress situation. I make for myself some kind of entrance points in each piece. For example, I have a longer piece about 3 or 4 minutes, and I know to be able to go through in emergency case, I need to have at least 4, better 5 or 6 entrances there. Of course, the first entrance is just in the very beginning, it's easy. Then probably the next part, then probably a little bit after that, a special chord that I can memorize very well, and so on. So I have in the whole piece 5, 6 entrances, and I know exactly how this entrance looks like. What does it mean? I know exactly which position I need if I play barré, if I have no barré, if it is a chord, if it's single melody, what is exactly in my bass, which strings I play, and so on. So if you would ask me, Tatyana, could you please tell me in this point what you're doing? And I wouldn't have instrument by me. I would tell you absolutely exactly. First finger, second string, first measure C, then second finger on the D string, note E, and so on. So I try to learn it as exactly that I can explain it with the words what my left or what my right hands are doing at this moment. Of course, perfect way if you can do it for the whole piece. Sometimes it's not possible, or even it's not necessary. But it's necessary to have these entrances where you know absolutely exactly what happened there. So when your previous 4 memories are out, and believe me, that happens, and that happens much more often than you would think. This last one, the brain memory, the mental memory, will save you, because at this point your head will say, you need now the chord and the third position, bar, finger there and there and there, and you will be able to continue it and everything will be fine. So I just want to encourage you, when you memorize, when you learn to play the piece by heart, don't think that it will work somehow automatically. Don't concentrate yourself only on this passive memory. Use active memory. It was mechanical memory, it was visual memory, it was ear memory, and it was mental memory. Use all of them and practice all of them actively. Then nothing in the world will be able to interrupt your playing by heart. No stress, nor different circumstances, nor no strange people sitting in front of you, nor fears, nothing. You will be able to play your piece very sure and relaxed from the beginning till the end. Try it, do it. I wish you great success. Good luck. Looking forward very much to hear your feedback about it, how it works, and see you then in the next episode of Ask Tatyana.